Hey everyone, it's Evan. It's early September. Just picked up the airplane with the new autopilot, so I want to play with that a little bit and also see what the farmers are up to. So welcome aboard.
I'm Evan Anderman, a geologist, photographer, and pilot based in Denver, Colorado. Come with me as I discover new ways to look at the environment.
Going east, 6 Mike 8, thank you. Here we are. I thought we would go out to Akron and do a practice approach with the autopilot and see what we see on the way as far as the fields are concerned for photographs. So it's a little bit of a two-prong adventure today. You can see the route I have picked up. I actually have a flight plan here, and I put in the runway 29 RNAV GPS. And so this is the route, and I'm going to enter it at a thing called Kiter. So let's see, approach, the 29. So you can see if you look at it, this IAF, initial approach fix. There are a couple of them since we're coming in from the south. I put in Kiker into the flight plan here. So, and if we go back to that, oops, that's my manual, the plates. You can see that we do that leg at 7,500 feet. Actually, I'm cruising at 7,500 feet right now. And the reason I picked 2.9 is that if you look at the winds, Akron, you can see the wind is 210 at 10, gusting 16. So that will be the closest runway to that heading. So it's 80 degrees off, almost a direct crosswind. That'll be interesting. So, okay, on our way out. So I'm going to let the autopilot fly this. So you can see I have two G5s here. One set up as the artificial horizon, one set up as the HSI. And then, of course, it's being driven by the 375 over here, my GPS transponder. And then, of course, I have my iPad also, which you'll see separately, but it's kind of in the way of some of the stuff here. You can see that it's on nav, autopilot's on, flight director's on, yaw damp's on, and the altitude is on. And it tells me that up here. It says I'm using GPS, autopilot, yaw damper, altitude 7,500 feet. I can adjust that altitude also, which is nice. And whenever I adjust the altimeter, it will find the altitude set again, which is really nice. Down on the bottom one, I also have the wind, speed, and direction. So 14 knots out of 210, which is probably why we're going our ground speed up here of 144. We're getting a little push. Okay, over here, the distance to the next waypoint, which will be that the Kiker. And down below it says GPS desired track 054. And then the heading bug is set to 054 also. Okay, so I think I got all that set up. I'm gonna look outside, get my camera ready. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Also, this is good for me. Procedure, here we go. Approach. Go. Approach. 29. Anchor. Activate approach. There we go. I was wondering why I was continuing straight. Wondered if I want to. So it's going to be a little different than what you see in ForeFlight because we went a little bit beyond that. And what's the new heading? 075. Okay, now it's all set up. Ooh. Nice field over here, interesting pattern. Yeah, I'm not always sure what the farmers are doing when they do this. I think they're like pre-plowing certain parts of the field. And then they come and like do the whole thing. Okay, I'm circling around a field called Kansas, which was fallow last year, and they're plowing it. So it's got an interesting pattern on it. There are actually a couple tractors on it as we speak. Hopefully I'll get some pictures of that. See if I can work this a little. Yeah, pretty interesting. They had 3 tractors there plowing away. See a couple more down here in this field. So this is the time when they start planting the wheat for the winter wheat. So winter's over and then they harvest it in July. So this is a great time to see new patterns and just to get out when they're plowing is pretty cool. Okay, now I'm back on my track for the approach. Okay, we're coming up on the first fix, Kiker. Just about to turn towards it. At the aviation cam, you can see, or the avionics cam, 0.6 miles to it. It says turning left to 023. I'm going to turn my heading bug to 023 to track along. You can see on ForeFlight where we are. Zoom in a little bit. And the other interesting thing is I can go to the plate and you can see where we are on the plate. Now we're headed inbound towards Jupos, which is 9 miles away. 7,500. Just gonna keep cruising like this right now. Again, I can see Akron off of our left wing here. But we're still probably 20 miles away from it. It's choppy out here. Not sure I feel great, but along for the ride, right? Let the airplane keep pitching up and down. The wind waves. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do a touch and go. I'm just gonna do the mist. Show you what the autopilot will do. Anyway, go back to the map on this, just so I can see the other traffic around. I don't think anybody else is around doing something like this. So my job is to obviously keep the speed. So I'm going to keep pulling the power back here. Right before I get to Jubos, add some flaps. It'd be nice to be at 85 knots before we turn to Jubos. Of course, my ground speed is 150 knots, so I'm approaching this rather quickly. First notch flaps. Gain a little altitude. Let it come back. It says 10 seconds to the turn. Oh, here we go on the turn. Glide slope is or the glide path as they call it. Oh, and I should arm the approach. Then it'll accept the glide path. Waiting for the glide path to come in. Akron traffic, stationary 756 Mike Yankee on practice approach, GPS 29, gonna do a mist at Akron. Just in case, here the glide slope's coming down. You can also see it down here. Purple diamond. So once we intercept that, these wind gusts really mess with this. Imagine if you were in the clouds. This would be kind of scary. Okay, now we're probably going to start pitching over. At the next. Oh, let me go back to this. We can go to 4933. Put that down towards 4,900, about 5,000. We'll break it off. Okay, I think we're good and stable now. Well, good and stable. Makes you realize that the wind, 18 knots at a 250. So it's off to the left. Oh, we're staying right on the needles. All right, well, gotta switch my gas tanks. Akron traffic, 756 Mike Yankee, 5 mile missed approach for 29 at Akron. Wow, and then we have to dive. Holy shit. Break this off. Wow. That was not fun. Akron traffic, 756 Mike Yankee is boarding the approach, departing the pattern to the west. Good day, Akron. Well, a little bit gusty conditions there, huh? This is why we practice. Well, head back to Centennial. Hey, it's Evan again. After that aborted approach, I was getting a little airsick. Took me a few minutes to get over that. Heading back to Centennial now. It's very choppy. There's a definite wave going on. Hopefully I can speed up this other video because we're doing this. We'll point at the sky and then point down to the ground. Anyway, that was an interesting approach. At one point, it just felt like we were diving straight down. And that just made me uncomfortable. So I decided to break it off, turn off the autopilot, recover, head back here, and then do the slow, like, wave riding on the way back. I don't know if I'll take any pictures or not. We'll see if I'm feeling up to it. Just thought it was better to take care of myself, make sure I can land the airplane when we get back to Centennial. That's the important part. I didn't realize it was going to be quite this choppy today. Anyway, heading back. It says 26 minutes back to Centennial right now. Just sightseeing along the way, letting the autopilot fly the airplane. You can probably tell I'm not feeling great, but I'm glad to be on the ground. Hopefully I'll start feeling better soon. Thanks for coming along. You never know what you're going to find up there, right? Always at the mercy of the weather. Quite get as much done today as I'd hope, but as you can see, you got a persevere and get back on the ground. So thanks for joining me. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe, tell all your friends, family to check me out, and I'll catch you on the next flight.